I feel like the Black Belle in Beauty and the Beast because everyone's like, hey bitch, hey queen, like they're like talking to me on the street. RuPaul is my fairy drag mother.
Did you get a bunch of messages from furries after?
No, but I wish I had. We fixed Broadway.
We fixed Broadway.
Period. I've noticed that my most successful years have been when I had a vision board that I put on the back of my phone or on my door or in the bathroom, where every time I'm taking a poop, I'm like, okay, bitch, you got work to do there, sir.
What was that?
We're trying to shoot a podcast here.
You're right.
We're being professional.
It's Broadway, bitch.
I am so excited for today. We have been in contact on TikTok because you reached out to me and was like, I like this content, and I was like, because I mean, like, I can't talk enough about. I mean, you've done everything. You've done TV. You've done Broadway. You've done the West End. You're writing. You're choreographing. You're directing. You've done Disney parades, which is so fun.
I know.
Disney
so gay.
parades. So gay. Drag Race. You've had your own docuseries. Like everything. My guest today is Todrick Hall. Yay! Season 3. Yay! I am so excited to have you in the It's Broadway Bitch studio. Because yes, we were just talking about, and I'm gonna leave it in, about how we ran into each other at City Center because you just moved to New York.
I know.
And you are on fire seeing shows. You are you are living the life of every theater kid right now, seeing everything.
I know. I'm loving it so much.
It's the best, right? And we talked about how you've done Broadway, but this is the first time that you are like made the big boy decision to like move here and actually do it.
Yeah, and it's been so welcoming because I've lived in LA for the past like almost 15 years. Well, the past 2 years I've been living in London, living that West End life, and I was loving it there. But when I got here, I was like so emotional because I said I'm moving to New York, and like Peppermint and Jordan Fisher and Titus Burgess and Billy Porter, all these people were like, welcome home. And I was like about to start crying because I grew up in Texas, but I never had like a home, you know, like, and I think that's part of why I'm like so obsessed with the story of the Wizard of Oz and, you know, the things I learned from RuPaul about how we as queer people get to build our own families and our own homes. And I just had never felt like this was my home, but I wouldn't say that any other place is. I'm from Texas, haven't been there since like I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call LA my home, and it's definitely not
Nobody's
London.
home.
Exactly.
LA is nobody's home.
So I just was like, I'm excited to move here, and I genuinely was outside sobbing because 4 people said welcome home to me, and people have been stopping me on the street. I feel like the Black Belle in Beauty and the Beast because everyone's like, hey bitch, hey queen, like they're like talking to me on the street saying, did you find an apartment? I've been just sort of documenting my life on social media. So it's been so nice to feel so embraced by the city.
You were like, okay, I can breathe. Like this, doesn't it feel like, even though you just got here, you're like, oh, but I've been here. Like this is like, I feel that my life was always here, and I just finally just physically got here.
Yeah, well, I felt like I was sort of like, I know this is weird, but jealous of all the blizzards. I kept seeing everyone living their Arendelle life on social media.
It was
like,
awful.
No, but I love when things happen that, like with the world, that remind us that we're human and that we have to sit down and we just can't do the things that we wanted to do, and that your plans are insignificant because if nature tells you to sit down.
Your plans are insignificant.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to, especially when we live a life on social media where nobody thinks they're insignificant, where everybody thinks that they matter. It's like sometimes you have to be like, Snow will teach you in 2 seconds.
Absolutely. She got that ass together. She got everybody together. She said, sit down.
Go home.
Don't do shows unless you're Moulin Rouge. She will still be working today.
Dude. Yeah.
That was
crazy.
Schools are closed.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
I saw people
like 7
trudging
people in the
through
crowd.
Snow,
I also get why they would be pissed to be like, no, I'm not going to do
But also
this
make that
tonight.
an opportunity to go like, hey, everyone who's never been in the show, that's swinging, understudying, whatever, you're in the show tonight.
That could be.
That could be, but that could be catastrophic because there's not that many swings. If you were just like, let the swings go on, you have like 4 people in the show, and all of a sudden Moulin Rouge became dear.
Well, not like just that. That'd be funny. Just there is no understudy for 5 parts, so they're just not in the show anymore.
Yeah, it's 2 strangers immediately because there's 4 people.
It's literally giving a script to somebody in the crowd, being like, "Today's your special day."
Honestly, I would buy a ticket to that show.
I kind of would too.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty fun. We just saw Rocky Horror, and they brought up 2 people to do the dance, and I didn't realize till like halfway through, and then I was like, "Those are not ensemble."
Why is that guy wearing jeans?
Yeah, I was like,
that's not part of the alien outfit.
You know, fun fact about me, I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, not the film, not the show, like the presentation, not the Fox reboot with, you know, like Adam Lambert. I've never seen Rocky Horror, so I'm trying to like do a deep dive and learn so much about the show. I don't know how I got to be this age without seeing it. I've never seen Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
Like there's some things that I need to grow up.
You need
Sure,
to,
yeah.
you need to go back to the late 80s.
Yes.
Figure some shit out.
I think I'm gonna love it, but I just
It's a full party. Like I'm the same way. Like I think I watched it because it used to always be on VH1, but there was like commercials, and I remember watching it in high school, being like, I'm so confused, and it would like I was like, I can't even watch this. But then seeing the show, you're just like, oh, it's insane, but it's also the most fun. Like it's a full party.
Do you think it's one of
very
those
silly.
things that if you're an adult, it's like, because I was obsessed with cats. I grew up crawling around the living room trying to be
Hilarious.
every single one of the cats.
Yeah.
I know their names. I'd watch the credits. I was like putting up a mirror. That was my first dance class, was learning how to do the choreography from Cats as a
Yeah.
child in Texas. And I would just rewind the tape. Couldn't rewind it fast enough to VHS. I wore that bad boy
Okay,
out.
which cat are you most attracted to?
Well,
was
I think
this
Rum
weird-
Tum Tugger was like a gay
Everybody
awakening for me.
Everybody
Rum
loves the
Tug's
Tummer.
getting
Everyone's
tugged,
Madam
man.
Tugger. But yeah, but people who are introduced to it as adults are like, what mushrooms am
Yes.
I on when I'm watching it? And I'm like,
Yes.
you don't have class. You just some things you're broken if you don't like cats. But I realized that I was just like sort of like groomed, and I mean as like it
Yeah.
isn't like a cat groomer, like to love this show.
Yeah.
And but now if you are introduced to it as an adult, I've taken people to see the show and they're like, that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And so do you think that Rocky Horror is like that? If I had not seen it when I was younger, am I just going to be confused?
I was not a Rocky Horror guy. I saw it maybe one time in passing. I had a great time.
It's a full party because I mean,
Were you
Becca, your
sober?
wife didn't like it. Oh, I was sober. You guys were probably.
I had
the
a few.
show.
But also, like, Studio 54 is
high,
not
so
built
he
for
like-
me. I'm 6'5", many hundred
Oh, yeah, you were
pounds,
just
and I was
uncomfortable
like
in that
full
theater.
spread. I couldn't fit my feet
Even
together.
on an aisle seat, yeah.
Yeah, even on the aisle, I couldn't fit. So
So I
that was
think-
like
yeah.
it was very uncomfortable, but I still had a great time.
Yeah,
That-
no,
that's-
And we
Says a
got the
lot.
understudy for Frankenfurter,
we did. We didn't get Luke Evans, but
and he was
amazing.
amazing. It was so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just goes to show, like, because I was like, oh man, I really wanted to see. Even though, like, I don't have any tie to Luke Evans, but it's still like he's billed as the guy. So you're like,
Yeah.
I want to see the guy.
Yeah.
And we loved the understudy. So I think even if you don't know,
You guys,
gotta
I
jingle
said
jangle.
today, I was like, I'm going to wear the most subtle outfit. People won't even be able to recognize me because I'm going to be so just like demure and cutesy with my outfit.
you're wearing a bikini.
And I am,
You're wearing a bikini shirt.
yeah.
No, I think you'd be okay. Because it's like I said, it kind of lays itself out to be ridiculous, and they know it's stupid, and it's like, I mean, it's aliens, and it's it's very silly. I think you'll have a good time. It's actually fun music, the costumes, there's sets.
And you know the
Love a
music.
set.
You know
I
the music
some of the music,
intrinsically.
but not a
Yeah.
lot.
No, you do. Because I didn't, but I did. I was like, oh, that's okay. I got.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe you, and
Yeah.
I'm going for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I made a vow like 3 years ago to see every single Broadway musical every season. I try to see the plays. I'm not really a play girly,
know.
but Becky Shaw has me in a chokehold. I'm probably
Oh,
going to go.
I
every
know.
We're trying to
single
go see
play.
that.
didn't
I
see
think
it.
this week
It's
we're going to
so
go see
good.
it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things I've seen in the past few years.
I've
Awesome.
heard it's amazing. No, Rocky Horror also does like a little nod to Studio 54 at the end, so
Oh, I
that's
love
also a fun
that.
thing. Wait, so I want to talk because I know that
Okay.
you have been seeing everything, but as I research episodes, like you've done so much that I'm trying to I'm narrowing it down to theater and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I do want to kind of go over some of your other stuff, so I just want like a one-word answer to describe them. There will be a few follow-up questions for a couple.
Okay,
but
one
just,
word answers that are not my specialty, but I'm gonna give it my best go, girl.
Okay, one max 1 to 3 to 5.
1 to 3 to 5.
Okay, or like a
That's
sentence.
more my
Okay,
speed.
Okay. So just a couple of these, and then we're gonna kind of do
Okay.
theater. So American Idol.
What am I just supposed to say a word to sum it up?
Yeah.
Oh, one of my best lessons I ever learned.
Best lessons.
Yeah.
Drag Race.
RuPaul is my fairy drag mother.
Masked Singer.
My favorite job I've ever done.
Okay.
I secretly always wanted to be a costume character at Disneyland, at Disney World. So that I got to live out my like phantasmic fantasy in that.
Follow-up question. Did you get a bunch of messages from furries after?
No, but I wish I had. That would have been really exciting.
And did you get to pick your character?
They say you get to pick your character,
you
but
don't.
they were like,
They
you
have
can
costumes.
either be this or you could be like a placenta, like you have a prolapse booty hole, and you're like, no, okay, I'll
Yeah,
go.
you're
with,
like, I'll be a bull.
I'll take the bull.
Because I'm sure that they're not like, let's build a costume under. I'm sure you're like, we've made this costume and this is yours.
They try to make it seem like they're going to make it so bespoke and they do fit it to you. But when I got there, I was like, she's been built for a while.
She's been built.
Somebody else was probably going to play this character, and then they gave it to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it was very that.
Do you want me to kick Jules' ass?
No, I was really kind of a little bit like low-key bitter because I've made a career out of coming in second in a lot of shows. I came in
Sure.
second on Big Brother and second
Sure.
on Masked Singer. But I was honestly like, it was the best. It was my favorite reality TV experience because I got
such
to
a
play a
fun show.
character.
Yeah.
I'm not shy, but I have like the worst imposter syndrome, and I've never been like thought that my voice was the greatest. I've always had like a very specific type of like raspy tone to my voice.
Yeah.
And so when people ask me to do shows like Corey Mock, who I think you had on your show,
Yeah, I love Corey.
he has been asking me for God knows how long to do one of his concerts, and I've been like, babe, I will be in an anxiety-ridden cocoon for weeks and weeks and weeks before it happens. And I finally this year was like, I'm going to do things that scare me. And he texted me for the first time in like 2 years.
Like right after you made that decision?
Yeah. And I said, well, shit, I came back up now. I got to just go
What
for
artist
it.
is it?
Beyonce.
Oh, you'll be
So,
great. You'll be great.
yeah.
Also, Todrick, you've been successful in everything. Like you've truly but listen. But I mean, like you have had like you auditioned for Broadway, you got it.
Yeah.
You had how like YouTube, you did it. You got on American Idol. Even coming in like Masked Singer, you did it. Like you have so much success. You've directed, you've written, you've choreographed everything. Like you can do it.
I appreciate that
You
glass
can
half
do
full
it.
approach to my
Yeah.
career. Thank you for
you're-
that.
I mean, you started in parodies, and now you've got a full musical that, like, I can't wait to talk about. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you did a Mean Boys parody, and now you wrote your whole show. Like,
Yeah.
come on, you're
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
You're
I think
very
I don't
good.
feel like I'm not talented. I am like delusional enough to think that I belong in these spaces that I get
do.
to, and I think that delusion is probably the number one ingredient. And when people say
Yes.
kids ask me all the time, like, what can I do? What's your advice? I'm like, be delusional.
Yeah.
Drink, make Kool-Aid and drink all of it for yourself. Drink
it.
your own Kool-Aid.
Hide it in a separate
You have
fridge.
Because no one else
You
is
have
going to.
And be prepared to drink that Kool-Aid for a long time.
For a long time.
You
Yeah.
have to. You have to never not be thirsty.
Yes.
Okay, your docu-series Behind the Curtain.
Oh, wow. Eye-opening. I have to tell you something about that.
Ooh, tell me.
Well, I just am one of those people who hasn't lived a lot of my life like running towards the next hurdle and trying to get to the finish line of whatever it is and thinking
Yeah.
about what's next. I was always like very Tasmanian devil-esque to my approach
Sure.
to my career because I always was discounted when I was in high school, and I was like the gay guy who was a cheerleader, and nobody really like took me very seriously. So I
Yeah.
felt like I had something to prove to the world and to myself. Anyway, when I did that documentary, I don't watch documentaries, or I
Sure.
didn't at that time.
Yeah.
I love them now. And I remember putting out Straight Out of Oz, which was my favorite thing in the world because I'm the most obsessed Wizard of Oz fan ever. And I remember that we would go to a theater that had like 2,000 seats, and we would sell 1,750. And that whole day, I would feel like such a failure. And like I would go into the show and be like, you might as well just give it up, girl. You can't even sell a 2,000 seat theater. That was like my mentality genuinely at that moment. And luckily, I did that tour in 2016 and was blessed enough to do it again in 2017.
Yeah.
And that documentary came out in 2017. And when I watched the video, I was at South by Southwest sobbing because I couldn't believe all the kids that, like, just seeing it, sitting back and being like, you are a self-made black queer artist from Texas. No one knew who you were. You made this yourself. And all of these kids were so moved by this show, and
Yeah.
I was too blind to see it. So I was given like the beautiful gift to be able to relive that most of the time you look at something in the rearview mirror and you
Sure.
say, I wish I could go back, but I got the opportunity to go back and do it again, and I didn't care how many people came to the show.
Yeah.
And I stopped. It's really hard not to focus on numbers and how many tickets you sell because
course.
that is your currency. Even when you do a
Yes.
Broadway show, if you're a lead, I mean, if you're a name that they're bringing in to do, Kinky Boots or whatever,
Sure.
people are looking at those ticket sales every week and trying to decide like how much your value is for that. So that to me was a lot of pressure, and that situation, that documentary showed me so much, and it has changed the way I look at everything I do from that point on.
Because when you think about it, though, it's like crazy to focus on the 250 instead of the 1750.
Period.
you know what I mean?
And we always do that, even with comments. You can get 8 billion great comments,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that one person, you're like, I'm gonna find this, I'm gonna fuck them up.
I'm gonna fuck
I'm
them
gonna
up.
this. I don't care if they're 12.
I will find their family.
I don't care.
got
Yes,
them.
I'm gonna poison their dog. I'm gonna do something crazy.
Everything.
I'm so mad at this
I know.
person that I don't know, who might not even be real, because they have a squirrel as a
Probably-
profile picture.
And they have 2 followers.
Yeah, and I'm mad.
I
get
will
it.
find
I get
user
it.
1678943.
And I will finish him.
Kill them. No, but that's as comics, it's the same thing, especially because we get ticket counts. Like I have some shows in the Bay Area coming up, and it's like you get a ticket count every day, and they're like 8, and you're like sick.
Work,
Sick.
Diva. I made it.
Those 8 people are gonna get an amazing show.
It's so hard.
If
It's
you sell
really-
10 more to hit the minimum.
If
now.
I said tell, if it doesn't get canceled, yeah. But it's like it is because it is our currency and it is a crazy way to live. But like I'm glad that you got that perspective. I wish we, hopefully we can all find a perspective on that.
Yeah. You asked for a one-word answer, and that's what you got. See,
I love a story. I love a tangent. This is the name of the show.
I am the tangent queen,
It's a
honey.
Broadway tangent. But you haven't been back in New York seeing everything. But
What
you
was
made
that
it-
sentence that you
exactly.
just said? I was like, did the Holy Ghost
I missed
enter the
it.
podcast?
And I was here for
She was speaking
pre-production.
in tongues. I was like, no, babe, you got to roll that back. Nobody understood that at all.
You like my transition was like.
You tried to pretend
Okay.
that. I was like, no, we didn't get that.
Back in NYC, seeing everything. But you did. That was such a simple sentence too that I fucked up
I
royally.
know, I had no idea, and I'm sure they didn't either. Like the
But I
closed
love-
captioning was going to be like super
And I love that you
califragilistic.
called me because I'm sure people would be like, I'm listening.
Yeah,
I totally
I'm
got
here
that.
for everyone who's listening.
Thank you
You're
for calling
welcome.
me out.
You're welcome.
But I want to say about a TikTok that you made in December, because you were talking about Broadway and about kind of like, the Wickeds and things, and you're like, I just haven't seen anything recently that like made me want to go download the soundtrack. So now that you have been back and have seen everything, is there a soundtrack that you have been like, I would download that one?
To be honest, no.
No. Okay.
If I'm giving you my honest answer, there's
want
not been
honest
anything
answer.
that has made me say I want to download that.
Really? Because you said you're like the basic thing is that it just has to be good. Like you literally were like, I just want something to be good. Why do you think we're missing the mark on just this basic fucking principle?
I really don't know.
He's sitting up. He's
I don't
sitting
know.
up.
I'm like, can I readjust this? How's this
Yeah.
Feel free.
I don't know.
It feels basic.
It feels like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I have enjoyed it. But there's a part of me that goes home after I leave the theater most nights, and I say, "Am I just like desensitized? Am I bitter? Am I like?" I don't know, because I love going to the theater and I spend
Right.
a lot of money to like support this hobby of mine, and I enjoy it, and it's like what do you call those people that are like love to be beat? A masochist.
Yeah.
I'm a theater masochist.
I was going to say snob. Theater snob.
No, it's for sure masochism, because I go over and over and over again, and it's like the definition of insanity. I
Yes,
go
it is.
expecting a different result, but there was something about like the first time I saw Aida, or even Seussical for that matter, that music was stuck in my head.
People love
Seussical
Seussical.
slaps.
People
hard.
love Seussical.
I was a Wickersham brother was the best experience of my life. I think that's probably problematic now. I don't know. Can you be
I haven't seen it.
a Wickersham brother? Well, they're monkeys. So is that problematic in 2026? Because the song slaps, and I was
I think
like,
everything
I kinda
is
ate
at
that
this
vocal
point.
up. So
if it's
it
all
came back, I'm
problematic,
like,
none of it's problematic, right? Can we
What?
just say that?
If it's all problematic.
If everything
none
is
of it's
problematic, that means nothing's problematic.
I'm
So let's
like-
just enjoy the hell out of a great song.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. I don't know, but I loved being in Seussical, but it was Aida and Thoroughly Modern Millie and Wicked and Hairspray. Oh my God, the chokehold Hairspray had on me. I just thought that all of that music was so great and so funny, and knew exactly what it was. The choreography, the dynamites. I wanted to be best friends with Penny Lou Pingleton. I wanted to like date Link Larkin. I wanted to be Seaweed J Stubbs. I wanted Motormouth to be my mom, and like that, it checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
Like Diana DeGarmo as Penny Pingleton was still to me one of the best performances I've ever seen.
Fellow American, well, not on your season, but also an American
Yes.
Idol alum.
And I think the first time I was riding on a hoverboard in my kitchen when I heard Hamilton for the first time, and I was like, oh shit, this is good.
It's good.
This is really, really good.
It's good.
And I felt that way about 6. I also feel that the music in Death Becomes Her, and maybe not all of it, but
Yeah.
there's a couple of songs, the opening of that show. I saw Tammy Faye on the same day I saw Death Becomes Her. And when I saw Tammy Faye after the opening number, I looked at my friend and I was like, that doesn't make me want to lean in. I understand why this is closing, to be honest, right now.
Yes.
And then when I saw that night for the evening performance, I went to go see Death Becomes Her, and my friend, the same friend, and I looked at each other and we said, that's how you open a show.
Julie Madison is like, I think that I actually told her that because I was like, that is the only show that I've seen in years where I left remembering anything. If you are perfect. Like that's the only time. I still remember it. And I
Yeah.
saw it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I totally understand. Do you think though, follow-up question, that it's just because we have, back when everything was kind of coming out, we weren't ingesting as much information just about about anything. Like, do you think our brains are just like, we don't even have space to like enjoy an album anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'm
I
wondering,
can't
I'm
be
like,
sure because I
Yeah.
think that we live in a society that is full of sheep, and when people say TikTok is what makes great music, then everyone stops making albums, and then
Yes.
they go to TikTok, which is why I love Beyonce so much, and I just like worship
Yeah.
at the altar of her because
Yeah.
she doesn't move with society. She like makes her albums mean something and be like a movement, and you want to watch it and listen to it from beginning to end. And even Ray just came out with an album that I think is probably one of the best albums I've ever
Yeah.
heard. Have you heard it yet?
no.
You need to listen to that album because she made an album that makes you want to listen to it from beginning to end. It's so cinematic and so theatrical, and so it has personality, like "Where the Hell's My Husband" or "Where's My Husband" song.
Yeah.
It feels like that from top to bottom, like the wittiness and the musicality, the harmonies, the different genres that she bounces back and forth between. So it could be that, but I think that when we get into a society where people say, well, this works, putting a jukebox musical up has worked, let's just do this. It's easier, it's less of a risk.
Yeah.
And how does a new show that is not based on something compete with these massive IPs that are surrounding it? But I have been talking with a lot of producers since I've been trying to get my show,
Yeah.
on Broadway and trying to navigate that area. And oftentimes when you're talking to the producers, they put a lot of blame on the audience, saying people don't want to see shows that make them think. That's what they're saying. They don't want to think. They don't want to. They don't want the show to be too long. They don't want it to be 3 hours. They don't want. They're just saying people don't want to come to the theater anymore because they'd rather go watch something on Netflix. And I'm thinking people don't want to pay Filet Mignon prices for McDonald's. If you give them a 5-course meal that's great and savory and sweet and covers all the genres, they'll pay what it costs. They have no problem going to spend the same money that they earn to go see the Eras Tour or Renaissance. They have no problem going to see Wicked 45 times, the movie, the first one.
Yeah.
They have no problem.
Clarify.
they people don't have a problem spending their money. They'll be irresponsible. They'll put themselves in debt to go see something that they think is going to be life changing.
I feel attacked. I feel personally attacked.
Same.
But yes, but that's such a good point. And also, Broadway is not failing. Like, people keep saying this, but if you look, and obviously the prices, but like, people are still out. Like, how many Broadway theaters are there? How many Broadway shows are there? Like, I've rarely in the last decade gone to a show where there has been not a ton of people there. It's happened, but like, there's still people going. It's just, I guess the cost of mounting it is just not being met. But it's like, when I hear producers be like, nobody's coming to the theater, it's like, every time I'm at the theater, there's a bunch of people fucking at the theater. You know what I mean? Like, people are at the theater.
I
But
think
you're
that the
right, like,
problem
we
is
need
how do they
quality.
recoup? Because now, like, apparently Death Becomes Her, while it's today in modern theatrical society is considered a success, but their weekly running cost is like $1 million.
Yeah,
and
you need $1 million
they're
a
not
week.
actually they're not ever going to make the $30 million or $25 million that it doesn't seem likely that they'll recoup with that show.
It's insane.
But that is seen as a success today. I would
Yeah.
say that is a success story. But I think that people genuinely are like craving real interactions and human stories that make them, when you go on social media, it's either something that's insanely funny or insanely heartwarming and reminds us that humanity is like something that can't be replicated in a world of AI, and that where musicals may not be able to be written by human beings in a few years, which is a crazy, scary thing to admit.
It's so dumb.
But like, I think that the line from Hamilton, look around how lucky we are to be alive right now, when humans are still able to create human experiences for other people to come to the theater and feel. I think the time is more important now than it has ever been for us to stop doing these movie musicals and remakes and jukebox musicals, because there's going to be a time where AI will be able to write that show in a formula that is like easily digestible to an audience very soon. But to write a brand new narrative and a brand new musical with characters that people have never heard of is something I think people are craving. And
I do too, and I think that especially now, like, it's got to flip. Like, I saw something on Instagram the other day, like a comic, and I think like Blair Saki's like they were saying like the backlash to whatever's happening in the world right now, I think, is going to be a lot of independent art, and like, you just got to hope that people are like want to ingest it, because I do think there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming Hopefully.
I pray.
In all things. Well, you
Because I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it.
Well, everything's a cycle. We have to we forget that when we're on the wrong side of that cycle.
That's true.
But it's all a cycle. It'll go then jukebox and then it'll come back and it'll be really cool shit. And then, it's just always. I feel like it's always going to be like that.
I hope
We
so.
have, but I was with a massive theater owner the other day, and they were saying every year, every certain amount of years, there was a massive blockbuster Broadway hit. And they were saying that since Hamilton, there hasn't been one. And this is the longest time that it has been that there's not been a hit.
Do people not consider The Outsiders? Well, I guess The Outsiders just recouped, but people that's kind of been a success, but I guess not the worldly.
Yeah, he was saying to him a blockbuster hit is a show that brings in people who would never normally see theater, that they would come in and see it, that it could tour everywhere, and people who don't know anything about musical theater know that Hamilton exists. They know that Wicked exists.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who are not in the theater community, who I can't speak for, may not know that The Outsiders exist.
True.
It doesn't feel like some global thing. There's nothing about the logo that feels like recognizable that you'd see and you'd be like, I know exactly what that is, because that people have parodied it. I also used to think
it's
about
not parodied.
Yeah, and
that's kind of like the sign of
yes. When Lion King came out, you do something and people are like, oh, that's a circle of life. That's like whatever.
Book of Mormon is a full parody.
As a full parody. Wicked is a huge parody, and I think that sometimes when, I used to do Drag Race for so long, and I was like, I think part of the mark of being an iconic person, because I was thinking, you go to theme parks and they do like reviews of the 60s, the 70s, and they sing the songs that were big then. I'm like, what are people going to sing when we're old?
It's all, a revival of what?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so I was like, what artists stand the test of time? Are people going to remember in 1,000 years that Ashley Simpson, was here?
I will.
I will too. Her performance on Saturday Night Live was iconic.
When she got booed at that football game? Oh, God bless her.
But she's iconic. I love Ashley Simpson.
She's iconic.
But
you're right. She's not somebody that we're
You
going
could
to look
parody.
back at like Stevie Nicks or look back at like it.
Or Lady Gaga, like like some of the people who
She didn't reinvent herself enough times. Like even Taylor Swift is reinvented. Like she has never stayed the same. She's never stayed the same. She will continue to
evolve.
She's a fucking unicorn. It's it's insane. But we're talking about new musicals. So in light of this, is that why because you have a new musical called Midnight that was just in London. I'm gonna have so much because I was watching some of the Mickey Joe interview, and it was like an event. People were he was saying that people in London, it was getting that buzz that early Hamilton at the public was getting. People were like, I want to see this on the ground floor, because it wasn't am I right to say that it wasn't put up like a full musical? Because even on Wikipedia it says like a sung through show or like a work in progress type thing.
It's an opera like Hamilton or Rent, so it's sung through from beginning to end. Yeah.
Amazing. So,
but I'm calling it a workshop because I don't think that preview periods exist anymore. That's my hot take. I think that
Lost Boys didn't have a preview or an out of town.
I'm saying right now they're in previews, but I think that previews are a prehistoric concept. No one's waiting for the New York Times review. Some twink is going to be there opening night, and they're going to go on TikTok, and they're going to start creating the.
But also, what's going to change? Well, I've seen a preview, and then the opening night, it's the exact same show.
No,
they
Lost
are
Boys
actually changing Lost
already.
Boys a lot.
Yeah,
but
I
know what you're saying.
I've seen a lot of them where it's they're locked day one, and it's previews is just because it's previews. I don't see the difference.
I felt that way about Queen of Versailles. I saw it when it was in previews, and when it opened, I was like, I don't really notice anything that was different.
That felt like a very stubborn musical anyway. They'd be like, we're doing it this way. Anyway.
I think when you're writing a musical about somebody who is alive and involved in the show, they're never going to want to show themselves in a light that they don't appreciate. And I think that takes the humanity out of it. And I think when you're talking about somebody who's really wealthy in this current climate, you gotta show them, and it's interesting because people have no problem watching the Real Housewives, who are really wealthy. They have no problem sitting down and supporting everything that they do, but when it comes to Broadway, it doesn't translate for whatever reason. I know there's a lot of other factors involved in it, but I could talk about this for hours and hours because I just find the whole concept to be so intriguing. And then the cancellation of these Broadway stars is also crazy, to me. And, I don't know. Yeah. I have had several arguments with the gays at night over Madam Chenoweth because I love her and I feel like she's been such an advocate for our community for 30 years. And we live in this society where you can be a model citizen for 30 years. You
And
do
make one
one thing
mistake.
that people don't like when you're 60 years old and social media, you're just trying to navigate social media while doing an 8-show week. And then people are like, forget everything you've ever done. You saying this makes us think that you are
One way.
are Republican. And by the way, I don't know if we have a Broadway without money from Republicans.
I mean,
from them buying the tickets, and also they are the ones that are oftentimes they're investing in the shows. But
Yes.
when I'm talking to these
Owning the
gays,
theaters.
right? But when I'm talking to them, this guy was like, "I'm not supporting her. She's a Trump supporter," and I was like, "So is your mom." I said that in front of everybody. I was
Yeah.
like, "Your mom's a Trump supporter. I know you, bitch." And he was like, "Well," and I was like, "Do you think she should lose her job?
Yeah.
Do you want people to go boycott her? Do you want people to harass her in her comments?"
The well says everything you need to know. Well,
Well, yeah, that's it. I'm like, if you're gonna hold Madam Chenoweth to that same standard, hold your mom to that same standard.
Same
who,
standard.
by the way, has not been advocating for our community for 3 decades. Like
Yeah.
before, it was like the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
So I want us to be more forgiving, because the theater community used to be the place where all of the like weirdos and outcasts and misfits came together and were like,
Yeah.
we're gonna unite. And now Broadway World and Playbill, it's like the social media is starting to look like Reddit and X. It's like,
but I don't think it's our fault. I just think it's the climate. I
Yeah.
think it's because with our current political administration, it is just
what do you
divided.
mean by that? I don't understand what you could possibly be.
There's this guy, I forget his name, but I just
Scar.
Scar, full Scar, full.
He's so Scar.
He's such a
Such a
dick.
drag queen.
He's so dramatic. He's
I've never met somebody so anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ+ who wears more makeup than everyone. He is
for
like
real.
More product.
Whose hair is higher than any drag queens could ever be.
It's absolutely
It is
insane.
sprayed up.
Period.
But I do think it's just because because everything is so tense right now, the line is drawn, and it's like, and I think people are so mad at that administration that even little things like that Kristen Chenoweth does, like, or just commented on or whatever, like I think people are just so mad at that it's like, here's somebody else I can take it. Like there's nowhere
Yeah.
to put it, and so I
Yeah.
guess they put it on Queen of Versailles.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know?
Well, I also think that Queen of Versailles was not the best show
Wasn't
ever.
great.
And so I think if the same thing happened with Nicole the year before, but the show was great and she was fabulous
great.
in it.
Yes.
So anybody who's saying it closed because of that, I'm like, no, babe.
It
The
just
gays
wasn't a
would
good show.
still, the gays will forgive a lot. They will show up for a queen if it's iconic, they'll still show up and they'll forgive some of the things that they've done. But it
wasn't.
the show wasn't. It wasn't. I went to go see it, and I actually had worked with Jackie Siegel, the real Queen of Versailles.
No, you didn't, did
I
you?
did, yeah. I had a show on HGTV, and we like shot some scenes together. So I was sort of fascinated to see it.
She's insane.
Yeah, she was
We
telling
heard
me
from other guests that she's fucking insane.
she's absolutely insane.
Yes.
But I don't want to see a show about somebody who's not insane. Like,
That's true.
yeah,
Nobody calm, please. I need somebody whose life has been tumultuous.
absolutely chaotic. Yeah.
But this new musical, though, like, I want to know, had you been working on it like for a long time, or was it kind of in the face of all the stuff that you're like, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm writing the new, like, I want to do the thing that I want to see. I want to be the start of hopefully a change.
Yeah, I go to the theater every single night, and I was like, I want to write the show that I would want to see. I
Yeah.
can sit around and complain that people aren't writing it, or I could write it myself. And I just didn't know where it was going to go. But I would say that the other day, someone asked me what the happiest I've been in the past 365 days, and I was like, when I was doing that show, I was like, I want to write a show where the word of mouth can be the marketing. And I know that a show can't exist just on that alone, but we were only doing the show for 3 weeks in a 600-seat theater. But because I don't have a lead producer, I don't have, brand deals or sponsorships. There was no
Really?
advertising or marketing. No, it's just me and my manager, Karen. She's doing the show with me, and we have been auditioning people. I'm in the show. I directed, choreographed it.
You also have like Rachel Tucker, and you've got
Iconic.
some people in there. But I do think this is actually very smart, because the more I think about how people like it's almost like they don't like marketing. It's almost, I feel like people want to see the secret. People want to see an underground thing. People want to see something that nobody else, like even in comedy, there's all these shows that pop up in different places that are not like mainstream, full every night, as opposed to comedy clubs, because I think people want to see something new and different and exciting that's not necessarily as structured, you know.
Or they want to be a part of a movement. Like,
wanna
I
be part
didn't
of
care
it.
if the Barbie movie was good. I just wanted to wear a pink outfit and go with my friends to be a part of the movement. And then I happened to like the movie. I thought it was cute when I went to go see it. But I would say that, like, being able to sell out that show
you sold out the whole thing.
So much for me, and the confidence that people do want to see new work, because I can be marketed something all day and I'll be like, but if somebody I know and I trust calls me and says, bitch,
you see this,
you must see this, I'm gonna book a ticket right away.
And that's what happened with Midnight, though.
Yeah, that's what's happened. And I'm so grateful. Like, the theater kid inside of me is like so happy that I decided, like, 4 weeks ago, I was just going to make the move to New York. It was like such a leap of faith. And just try to start navigating the industry here, because I think that there should be a place for a show like mine that exists. And it's going to be hard. I got here and was like, I'm going to make it happen tomorrow. And I feel like the theater community, the gatekeepers, are like the sloths from Zootopia. They're like, well, if you want to come in and do a 29-hour reading in 2029, I'm like, what? Like,
that's what I was going to say. Like, because now it was there. How long did it take from conception to stage in London?
Probably about 3 years.
Okay,
but I
3
wasn't
years.
working on it nonstop. I was also doing burlesque there and like dabbling in other things. But it took me about 3 years to get it to a place where we could do a version of a workshop, which we did earlier in the year, and then we moved to a theater and had our first like ticketed audience in November of 2025.
Yeah, because they say like 10 years. Like, is this like, doesn't it feel like you don't want to wait 7 more years for this? It's like, let's fucking get it up.
Well, I also think that, not to keep bringing Queen of Versailles into the chat, but I think that maybe there's a world where when they thought of this concept, it would have culturally been acceptable. But we're moving at such a rapid pace that if you're trying to take 7 years to get your musical together, what you might be singing about. I mean, can you imagine Britney Spears coming out with a song called I'm a Slave for You today? Like, can you imagine that? Like, that would just not be appropriate. But at the time, it was lit. And so I think that we need to start figuring out how to, like...
Fast track.
A lot of people are saying, not even fast track, but understand that what might be relevant and what might be socially acceptable today in 2025. Like, there are things that we're going to say today that are going to be cringy, and they might be cringy tomorrow, you know, or they're cringy now.
It's moving too fast.
But in 10 years, we might all be canceled for something that we're saying.
That's what somebody else was like. They're like, by the time you get this musical up, the jokes are dead. The jokes are dumb because it's not even like
relevant. And,
yeah. So it's like, get a move on.
And historically, what I've been sort of thinking lately is like, Broadway has never been resurrected or revived by somebody who was relevant 30 years ago who said, oh wait, I have this epiphany. It's usually a young Andrew Lloyd Webber and Cameron McIntosh, or a Lin-Manuel Miranda, or Pasek and Paul, like a new person that comes to the scene and says, you know what, I have something to say. Yeah. And I think that right now, Broadway seems like it might be lost, but I think that the producers should be turning to new people. Broadway is a risk, whether it is the biggest franchise in the world or something so obscure no one's ever heard of. So if you're gonna take the risk, take it on something new, not Miss Doubtfire. You know what I mean?
I know. I mean, your show too. Watching some of the clips, it's like, I was in just based on like, there's a line, I guess it was from the first song you wrote called, what was the line is, I'll meet someone who thinks I'm the remarkable fun one, and just the rhyming of someone and fun one.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just such a relatable line, but also like just the melody. It's like you rarely hear something where you're like, that the music that you posted about this musical is so like, it's like refreshing to be like, oh, I heard this much and I'm in. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you.
Well,
that means everything to me. It really does. I'm so passionate about this, and I want it not just for me personally. I think that would be awesome, and there are not a lot of Black composers who have like gotten their shows from conception to Broadway. Yeah, it's a very limited amount in comparison to all the composers who exist. But I also I want the show to come out and be a success, because I want these producers to realize like Broadway is not broken. We just need to be giving the audience something that they want. And if we're disregarding all the comments and the things that they say,
they're not listening to any feedback.
Then and we just keep doing the same thing expecting a different result, then I think that Broadway is going to continue to be less and less cool. Where Broadway used to be cool, there used to be a time where the stars of the radio were on Broadway, and that's why I'm a champion of Meg Thee Stallion being on Broadway, because I think she is a person who is relevant, who are bringing young, cool people to the theater who would never normally be there, and they're now buying other shows. They're flying to New York,
and they're extending.
Yeah,
they're extending their closing,
and they're getting back the original. Ziedler too. They're getting back. His name's Eric. It's not Eric Adams.
Eric Adams.
Eric Anderson.
It's going to be an interesting one.
But like oh, sorry. We're gonna cut that part because I had another one of those flubs. This show, though, you also wrote, directed, and choreographed it. And why are you so lazy?
And be specific.
And be specific.
Here's the thing. I think that sometimes people think that I'm like actually being such a control freak, and
that's what I was gonna wonder, if
circling
it's
around.
just because it's your baby, or are you just like, I'm just doing it?
No,
I
I started out as a dancer and a choreographer
Yeah.
first, and then I became a composer. And when I write music, much like my videos, like I when I write a song, I see what the fashion's going to be, and what the costumes are going to look like, and what the choreography is going to look like, and what the lighting looks like. I don't see them as a one thing. Like, it's hard for me to, when I'm writing songs, I'm usually not sitting down. I am dancing and I am doing the choreography. So I just happen to be somebody who, first of all, just logistically, a lot of the reason why it takes shows so long to get there is because Michael Arden is my dream collaborator, but he's on every show now.
Every show.
So when you think about a lighting, a set designer, a choreographer, the director, composer, all Tetrising all of those schedules together, people are like, the first time we're all going to be free is in 8 months from now. And then, that person's just checking in and working from 10 to 6 for that 2 weeks, and then they leave. And I think that's part of the reason also why Broadway people are building Broadway shows like they're erecting a new like McDonald's branch or something. And I'm like, these people who have written these insane shows, when you watch the documentaries about them, they're staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning. They're baking their cake with so much love, and everything human falls to the wayside because they're creating their magnum opus, a piece of art. And when it becomes so corporate that when someone walks into the room and you talk to them, they're like, I need right of first refusal, and everyone's agent is trying to protect them. But I think that somehow in the process, the artistry is like the third thing. Another producer told me, I'm like saying everything that they told me. They were like, it used to be back in the day that if someone wanted to do a show in your theater, they would say, is the show any good? Do we know them? Do they have the money? And now they're saying, do they have the money? Do we know them? Is the show any good? That's the way that they're deciding whether or not how the show is going to go into the theater. And I've heard that from like 2 or 3 people who are relevant in the industry. And I think that's part of also why the artistry is not at the level that it used to be, because I don't think it's that we're jaded and bitter. I don't think that the musicals are being as crafted with as much love as they used to be, and so that's why I want to insulate my baby, because I'm never going to birth a child, it feels like that. And when people come in and they want to do something, I'm like, would I give my child, if it was a living, breathing human being, would I let this person take it and protect it and shelter it and and walk it towards the direction of being ready to be seen by an audience? I don't know. And if I don't feel that like unwaveringly, then I'm just like, I think I'm gonna protect it myself for now and keep incubating my egg until it's time, until somebody I really trust takes it over. So that's why I'm doing all of those things.
Of it.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Was anybody from like any producers or anybody from Broadway come see it?
A few people that were big producers did see the show, but I think that to a lot of people, they will leave crying. They'll say they love it, but then they'll be like, it's scary because musicals are so expensive. And if I'm going to roll the dice on something, I want to roll the dice on something that I think has a better chance of being successful, which to them, I saw a podcast with Jerry Mitchell saying it has to have existing IP.
Yes.
Was that on your podcast?
Yes.
He came and said that to you?
Yeah, well, he said producers are not willing to take a chance on They find insurance in stars, and they find insurance. It might be. That's what he said on here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was us.
I saw that, and I was like viscerally allergic to every word that came. And Jerry Mitchell is one of my closest friends, my mentor. He cast me in Hairspray at the Hollywood Bowl and Kinky Boots. And when I need help, I call him and I say, "Can I help?" But I think I think I have to disagree with that mindset. I think it's an outdated point of view, and it's very rarely working for people. I do know that he's had a lot of success with the shows in the UK, but on Broadway, I mean, 6 didn't have stars, and none of the shows that have recouped.
That was what Joe Iconis was. So we had Joe Iconis coming, being like, 6 recouped with nobody, and then it's so
Hamilton
funny. We had
didn't have any stars.
Yeah, we had Jerry Mitchell being like, we need a star, and then we have this. So it's very conflicting as to what's happening, and I think what people think is happening maybe behind the scenes.
Sorry, Madam Mitchell. I disagree.
Yeah.
I think that the show just needs to be good. The music needs to be good. And I think that people want to walk into the theater and either be laughing hysterically or they want to be moved and they want to have something to talk about when they leave the theater.
You had mentioned something. Sorry, you had mentioned something earlier about you didn't have any brand deals, you didn't have any sponsorships. And that is that a thing for Broadway to have like a branded, sponsored
I wouldn't
producer?
say like a brand deal necessarily, but oftentimes there are big, massive, companies behind. I mean, Death Becomes Her. Isn't that Universal? Like, is the producers of that show?
Well, I guess I'm thinking more like how everything now is branded or sponsored by
Dr.
Marriott or something like that. Is there something that could be integrated into Broadway, like, oh, the seats have been furbished by Casper Mattresses and they paid a ton of money to help mount a show? Like, I'm just, obviously that's the most ridiculous thing you could say.
I feel like you're saying that like it's like a dumb decision, but I think that everybody needs to be doing that. Everybody needs to say like, how
do we find money where what they get out of the show is that their product is in the show, and they like, you do the art, we'll make the carpet from Carpets Direct, or whatever, and like find a way to get a ton of money into that. That's like they're not taking the creative away.
I think that's brilliant. I think anybody.
Thank you. I thought of that independently, and you didn't say anything to trigger that.
No, I genuinely think that whatever has been done before, if it's not working, we need to be thinking of anything that is not that. That's what I think. If it were my strategy, I'd be like this, because people make a lot of money off of just fashion lines. Like, why are we going to see the show? You have a captive audience of sometimes 1,200 to 1,800 to 2,000 people per night. Why is your merch ugly?
Why is it a T-shirt that I gave away in 8th grade?
Why is it so ill-fitted, and why is the neck so loose?
And why is the font like that nasty font that like is like the baby announcement font? You know what I mean? Like that weird cursive. Well, kids don't even read cursive anymore. We can't even read that.
Kids don't read anymore.
The merch is awful.
Yeah, whoever's making the merch, grow up.
Also, why does my
go to jail?
Why does my cup that I drink out of smell like petroleum? Is there another method we could, like, there's so many parts of what we could fit.
A little bit
yeah, that
you don't get a cocktail and the lid smells like fresh plastic?
Because it's plastic.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't smell. That's a good point. I don't want old plastic.
I do love
it smells like burnt tires. When I drink a cup, it smells like burnt tires.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But that's why you drink the double. So
I've gotten off track here. Point is, let's find creative money.
We've got to be new. And also
burn all these producers or the money people that are just doing that. Let's find new money people. There's a ton of money out there. Why can't we get them to go
find them?
Because I think that a lot of people Google what it's like to invest in. What, you had an epiphany?
I have an idea.
Let's do it.
What if a scene? What if a scene in a musical is staged at Olive Garden? And it just says Olive Garden. Okay, so this is my. Not a good epiphany. Got it.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was a bad. I just wanted you to see it through. You got to believe in yourself. He believed in himself all the way to the end of his suggestion.
They remount Waitress and it's at a Denny's.
And it's what I'm saying. But then Denny's.
IHOP. Oh my gosh.
So much money. Yeah, if there's a scene in
Jenna at IHOP.
Jenna buys an IHOP.
She created all the.
She puts the little.
She created all the new pies
for Joe with the smiley face on.
All the new pies at Cheesecake Factory.
Moons over Manhattan. Moons over Manhattan.
Yeah.
Miami. We did it, guys. We're gonna do.
We just solved Broadway's money problems.
IHOP and
the Jenna IHOP revival.
But in this
Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a Casper.
Brought to you by
Once Upon a Casper.
Sealy.
Yes.
That's missed. That was. I'm gonna call
missed
them.
Opportunity.
That was so fucking missed. That's so dumb. All those mattresses.
Yeah.
Get a mattress company.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Subtlety. Doesn't it creep into the creative, and everyone wins.
I think that we did
I'm gonna
it.
make a few phone
We
calls
cracked
after
the
this.
code.
We did
We
it.
fixed Broadway.
We fixed Broadway.
Period.
But I also think in this vein of like new and different things, and you were talking about like new audiences, because I want to get your thoughts on this, because I wonder, like, you know, you broke box office records when you were Billy Flynn, and so did Jinx at Chicago, and now so does Whitney from
She's killing it. I think she has the best numbers they've ever had.
She does, but it's all years. Like, you were the 21st year. I think Jinx was 26, is 29th year. But like, is this the new reality stars, social media stars? Is this the next big Broadway draw? Because it seems like it is.
I
You've
think
got
if
Dylan
someone's
in the
talented,
show.
and
Yeah.
then if they can do an 8-show week, if they can truly do it, because there's nothing that I love more than, like I said, even when Diana DeGarmo was in Hairspray, that was like a weird thing to be taking American Idols to put them on Broadway.
Yeah.
But she was one of those people that had the stamina and had the gift to do that, and she blew people away. So I've seen people from television and who are social media influencers, because a lot of these influencers are musical theater kids. Chris Olsen should have been on Broadway at some point, or will be. You know, all of the kids from Pentatonics are theater kids. Kirsty's going back into 6. She's going into 6 after doing.
Yeah.
So I love it when somebody who is really, really insanely talented gets to do something and show people how talented they are. Sir,
What was that?
we're trying to shoot a podcast here.
You're right.
We're being professional.
I apologize. I'm
And
trying
you're over there.
to run a podcast studio at the
down
same
the-
time.
the pedigree.
You know what he's doing? He was contacting the mattress company.
I just
doing-
called Amazon Web Services to see if they could sponsor.
To invest in a musical.
Invest in
Okay.
musical. Yeah.
Great, let me know.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
you're two people with ADD.
Joseph
being
and the
said-
we can
Amazon.
have no other sound.
That being said, we have about 8
That's our new
minutes.
show,
Yes.
Joseph and the Amazon
Package.
Technicolor
Package.
Dreamcoat. Like, to replace Amazing with Amazon.
Yeah.
We did it again.
We did
Shows with the
it.
amazing Technicolor
Why
Dreamcoat,
does-
available at 2-day shipping.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah. Available for
You can
pre-order.
get it in red and olive and
Yeah.
ochre and
Yeah,
peach.
yeah. You have,
Every
to
color.
you have to pre-order it. It'll show up in your inbox. So we're talking about like the reality stars and all this stuff. Like, if you're talented, then that's just, if they can do an 8-show week, then it doesn't matter who it is.
I'm just a person that's like, throw all the rules in a blender, shake it up.
Yes.
Meg Thee Stallion, sure. Is she the best actress? Probably not. But is she bringing her own thing and giving Moulin Rouge a facelift that I think that it needed to go out in style? Absolutely. I was there opening night. I haven't felt that energy in a long time. And in the theater, so I'm a big fan of that. But I love it when somebody who you didn't expect to be that great, who you'd be like, really, this person on Broadway, and then you go there and they blow you away.
I saw
Yeah.
Bob the Drag Queen do it. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's my good friend.
It was fantastic.
Performer.
So he's huge.
Massive.
Such a big person.
Yeah.
Didn't realize the monstrosity of that individual.
And that's saying a lot coming from somebody who's 6'5".
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
It was unbelievable.
2 follow-ups for this, because it's very interesting, because there's been a lot of discourse too about Pink hosting the Tonys, because she's not so that's the thing. It's like because like some people are like, she's not a theater actor. Some people are like, it's fucking Pink. Who cares? Like,
My hot
how
take
do
is
you-
Pink is the pop
Is
Kathy
Pink.
Rigby.
Okay. And that's what it is. And so like,
Pink should be Peter Pan. She should take the torch from Kathy Rigby. They need to do that in the show. She is known for flying everywhere.
Yes.
Like, she should come in there and fly and sing like I'm flying and slay it. I think that Pink is one of the most underrated pop stars. It's like she is like one of those people that everybody knows is really talented, but when you're thinking about your favorite iconic
You're not
people,
thinking about her.
sometimes people sleep on Pink a little bit.
She's
and,
incredibly
and
talented.
I think that Pink is like severely talented. I love the fact that she has been like supporting her daughter's passion for theater.
that's what I was gonna say. That like, when I first saw the announcement, I was just like, because I follow her, she follows me.
Pink follows you?
Yes,
Shut up.
follows me.
I'm so jealous.
Pink, follow Todrick. Okay, does she?
Follow me,
She probably
Pink.
follows you too. But I remember my first thought was, I love this because I know her daughter loves theater, and then I remember I saw a couple other people being like, kind of poo-pooing it and like kind of shitting on it, and I was like, oh, that sucks, because I get what they're saying. I get how theater actors could be like, okay, this is another thing that's being taken away from us, but also I'm like, I don't know, she's been kind of heavily involved, and
And
her
she's
all this
bringing
stuff, like,
exposure to
Right.
our industry that some people would say it is not dying, but we're struggling. Like, why would you not bring one of the most talented people who has kept her nose clean? Her
And who
voice
loves
is
it.
absolutely insane. Whose daughter is a out of this world theater nerd,
I know.
self-appointed, like massive theater fan. Like, why would you not? And I have no doubt that that Pink is going to be in a show soon. I see her talking to Shoshana and having all of these theater people on her podcast, and I'm just like, to me, like, we cannot gatekeep theater in this society. Like, there were so many people mad that Meg got cast as the learner. I was like, were you up for that role, or did you think you were gonna be?
Is that dinner off your table?
She was like, it was between me and Meg.
It was between me.
I
lost
the
out.
Stallion got it.
Meg the Stallion.
Yeah, no, it's like you weren't up for that role. Like,
It wasn't yours.
no, and I remember when I got cast as Billy Flynn. And I was really super insecure about doing that job, and because I was like, there are people who would probably be a better Billy Flynn than me. And I called Shoshana and I was talking to her about it. I was like, my imposter syndrome is through the roof right now, because I felt like Lola felt very appropriate for me. That's a role that I might have booked if I just had gone in off the street and auditioned. And I had done 2 Broadway shows by the time I got Lola, by the way.
Yeah.
But Shoshana was like, think of all the people that are going to have a job because you are there, because you are bringing the tickets in, because you're selling these tickets. It's not just the actors on stage, it's the crew, it's the wardrobe, it's the wig department, it's the custodians, the ushers. Everybody gets to stay working and have consistency in their life when this one person comes in and substitutes and does this one job.
Yeah.
And so I don't see why there's this, like, I understand the frustration, but I think that right now we are in a transitional period where like Broadway's trying to find its footing, and if you can put one person in the show, and if there's 30 people in the cast or 20 people in the cast, and one of those people happens to be a mega star that not only can do the job, but The View oftentimes won't let you come on the show if you don't have a name. Like, you can't. We've almost lost the ability to promote the show if you don't have a name, because they're always going to see Meg the Stallion on The View before they will see insert whatever Broadway name is there that doesn't have the appeal that to get America to watch the show. It's a business at the end of the day.
It's a business.
And movies don't hardly get made without any celebrities. Like, you can hardly get a clothing line these days if you don't have a name attached to it, or you will have to hire names to promote those clothes. It's just, the world has evolved. So I think all we can hope for is that we continue to get people like Meg the Stallion, who at least has an appreciation for what we're doing. And I was there at the after party, and she did a toast to the cast and said, like, I have never seen people work this hard. You guys have inspired me to work harder. I thought to complain less, because this is actually hard work, and you've pushed me to be a better version of myself. And I think that's an incredible thing. Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's people. You don't be mad because people are working. Like, they're giving everybody else on that show a job. If for the 6 weeks they're there, it's continuing. Even if it's like, hey, we're trying to just do this to save the show. You got paid for another 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Also, like, Meg was announced after Moulin Rouge already said it was closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what.
And then she brought it back.
She brought it back.
Like, she extended it by her existence.
Yeah,
so, like,
I also think it's like she must have just also really wanted to do Broadway too.
Yeah. Sure.
That must have been just like a thing, because it's like, it didn't seem like she was coming in to save it, because it was already announced that it was closing. It was like, oh, she wanted to do this.
Or that they would ever be able to pay her an amount of money that she couldn't make from doing a brand deal someplace else.
Yeah, she
2
wanted
posts.
to do it.
She's probably taking a massive pay cut in her
Yeah.
regular life and her social life and everything to be there every single day. And what I loved about it the most is that it was an amount of diversity I had never seen at the Al Hirschfeld. Like, the amount of I looked over that room and I was like, I just, as a black person who's in this industry, a person of color who's been to see a bazillion musicals, when I go see it and I feel like I'm in Get Out, the sequel, like, every time I go see a musical, I'm like, girl, this is crazy.
I know.
I should stop doing the thing with my glass in the theater. I do that every show, and I think I'm probably the wrong guy for that. Yeah. I just keep chinging my tea around. And,
I know. And I'm gonna have
It's
so many
scaring.
things.
I apologize for all of us. From us, I apologize.
Thank you. I
From all of
appreciate you
us.
acknowledging.
I know. I always think, and then I could literally talk to you forever, because I have so many things. But like,
I'm the most long-winded person.
But now you're here. Follow up, second episode.
Yes,
of
Are we
course.
close enough for that?
Yes, you can have some.
We should do a follow-up
But
episode,
we should
part
do
2.
follow-up
Now that you live here,
Now that you're here, and especially once,
I will come back
once midnight
anytime you want.
is like up and go. Like, first off, we want to see it. invite us.
I'll give you a comp ticket.
Please, thank you so much.
One for
You
her.
have to share
'cause I don't want you in there
I
with your
want to go
tea.
the.
Okay, I'll bring coffee.
Oh no, I heard something crazy happens in the second act. I'm going to the second act.
Okay, sure, fair.
But there was just one little follow-up question I want to ask on that thing, and then I have my last question, which
Okay.
I don't have like a last question for the season, but I do have one that I want to ask you. But we were saying that you don't feel like Get Out. I always thought that was such an interesting thing for Strange Loop for the subject matter. But you'd look in the audience and it was all old white men, and I'm like, how? What an interesting thing to be like, this is an experience, and it was a bunch of like old theater goers being like, like I was like, it just must have been such a weird. I just always found that really weird to be like, this is the theater audience, and this is a subject matter that's like not that is like so personal, and it was just so funny to watch to see the theater audience, like these just the uppity people, and being like watching them consume something that is like not for them, but like I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was. Just
I do. Someone said
weird
something. I'm paraphrasing, but they were like, "Theater is horse racing for rich people."
Oh God.
Someone said that, and I think that to a lot of them, they're just like, "I'm investing in this show, and I like this movie, and I will invest in it, and it's not going to kill me if it doesn't work out because I just want to be invited to the party, and I would like to get a Tony to brag to my friends that I had it," and that's kind of upsetting. But also, I think we should find a way to use that to our advantage and say, like, great, if we're going to horse race, let's horse race on art that is good. That's all I care about.
Sure.
If that's going to be the case, I think we should just be putting, even if there is space, there's 41 theaters on Broadway, I believe.
Yeah. I think
let 5 or 10 of them be new, interesting pieces of work, and the other 30 can be commercial. It can be Paddington and Devil Wears Prada and all the things that they're probably going to bring over in the next few years from Greatest Showman. Like I think there's obviously a place for that, and so many people want to see that. But I think that for the theater goers, we're a little bit like, really, that every time I see
only 5, give us 5.
Just get 5.
Give us 5.
We'll even take 5.
Give us 5. And then I read an article where you mentioned it, like a vision board and stuff like that. What other woo-woo do you subscribe to?
What other woo-woo?
Yeah, like vision boards. Are you tarot? Do you psychic? Do you?
Oh no, I'm
chant
not.
at the moon?
I don't feel like I'm very woo-woo at all. I don't
Okay.
think I'm superstitious. I do think that when you look at something every day, it reminds you what your goal is. And I've noticed that my most successful years have been when I had a vision board that I put on the back of my phone or on my door or in the bathroom, where every time I'm taking a poop, I'm like, okay, bitch, you got work to do.
Midnight.
It's time to get up. It's time to lock in. It's time to wipe and lock in.
That's the best ending we've ever had for this podcast.
Pretty good.
It's
It's
time
pretty
to
good.
Wipe and lock in. Todrick, I swear to. Okay, yeah, we do have to do a follow up. I love you so much. I'm so glad I ran into you, and I'm so glad we got to connect and do this. I'm so glad you're here. I'm sure I'll be seeing you much more. I would love to keep in touch. I want to be
Let's do it.
friends.
Absolutely.
Come to a show.
I will.
Come to a comedy show. Come see me do comedy. Come.
You know, it's one of my scary things. Like, if I had a vision board, I'd be like, I want to do a stand-up comedy show.
help you.
I don't think I'm ready for that yet. But
fucking
with
help
your
you.
guidance and you,
Yes.
I think I could do it.
We'll do it.
We can make
We'll
it
do
happen.
We can be your Sherpas. That can be a woo-woo you believe in. But for the time being, how can people find you and support you if they don't already follow you? How can people follow you?
I don't know any other Todricks, so you can you can find me on Instagram at there's no E, there's only one D, Todrick on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and I'm gonna be doing new music. And follow at midnight on
Yes.
Instagram so you can see when the show
Watch
is gonna.
the clips of the songs. They are, mwah. They're very good.
Thank you for having me,
I
and
can't wait to see
congratulations on everything that you're doing. This is not easy, and you are representing the theater community so well. I'm so happy that my
That's
algorithm
so nice to say.
knew that I would love you.
Oh, Todrick Hall, everyone. And for the rest of you, rate, review, subscribe, follow Mike at Big Man Mike. Follow me, K-Space B. Follow Todrick. Follow the podcast. We'll see you again. Goodbye.
Period. That was so fun.